My thoughts on why Mason seems to prefer Scott Disick over Kourtney Kardashian. Hi, before we continue, please subscribe to the channel for all Kardashians news and update. Mason Disick has grown up in a world where cameras are everywhere, and almost every move his family makes is followed by millions of people. From the very beginning, his life was not private. He was born into the Kardashian spotlight, and the world knew his name before he could even talk. Now, as a teenager, he seems to be choosing a different path, one that has surprised many people. Instead of being closer to his mom, Kourtney Kardashian, Mason appears to be bonding more with his dad, Scott Disick. This change has left fans curious and even concerned, because it raises big questions about what is going on inside the Kardashian family. When Mason was younger, he appeared often on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Viewers saw him grow from a toddler into a smart, funny kid. He was always smiling, playful, and full of energy. But as the years passed, something began to shift. Mason started stepping away from the cameras. He became more private, more reserved, and more interested in living life without the constant flashing lights. That choice makes a lot of sense, because being filmed from birth can be overwhelming, especially for a child who never asked for that life. It can also cause someone to question who they really are, because the world forms opinions about them before they even get to decide for themselves. What really caught fans' attention, though, is that Mason still chooses to spend time with Scott in public. He still appears in his father's posts and hangs out with him, but when it comes to his mom, Kourtney, Mason seems less open. This difference is striking. It has made people wonder if Mason feels more comfortable with Scott, or if something about Kourtney's new life with Travis Barker has pushed Mason away. One of the biggest reasons people think Mason has chosen Scott over Kourtney is Travis Barker. When parents separate and start new relationships, children are often caught in the middle. It can be confusing and even painful to adjust to someone new entering the family, especially when that new person is very different from what the child is used to. Kourtney has moved on with Travis, and their love story has been very public. They show affection everywhere, at events, on social media, and even on their reality show. For fans, this may look romantic, but for Mason, a teenager who just wants normalcy, it might be uncomfortable. Watching his mom kiss, hug, and express so much love for someone who is not his dad could make him feel pushed aside or even embarrassed. Teenagers are already sensitive about their parents, and Mason is no exception. At 14, he is at the stage where he values privacy, independence, and space. Seeing his mom and stepdad act like a couple in front of the world might feel overwhelming. It could make him pull away, because he does not want to be part of that spotlight anymore. Instead, he might find Scott's world more appealing. Scott, even with his own struggles, seems to give Mason freedom to be himself. He is playful, less strict, and has a more relaxed way of parenting. For a teenage boy, that might feel easier and more fun than living under Kourtney's rules and Travis's presence. Scott and Kourtney have very different styles as parents. Kourtney is known for being very careful about her children's diet, their routines, and their lifestyle. She likes things to be healthy, organic, and structured. She has rules about food and likes to keep the home environment very controlled. Scott, on the other hand, is more laid back. He is not as strict, and sometimes he even acts like a kid himself. He shows off his expensive cars, watches, and his brand Talentless, which focuses on casual clothing. He is playful, and though he has his struggles, he tends to create an environment that feels lighter and less serious. Mason may connect more with that energy, because it makes him feel like he can relax and just be himself. But there is more to it than parenting styles. Mason may also feel a strong sense of loyalty to his dad. He has watched Scott go through heartbreak after losing Kourtney, and he probably senses his dad's loneliness. Scott has always been open about still loving Kourtney, and Mason might see Travis as the person who took his place. This can be complicated for a child. Even if Mason does not dislike Travis, he may feel that being too close to him would be like betraying his dad. Instead, Mason chooses Scott, spending more time with him and creating memories that are just theirs. This does not mean Mason does not love his mom. He clearly does, and Kourtney loves him just as deeply. But relationships between parents and children evolve, especially during the teenage years. Right now, Mason is in a phase where he needs space, independence, and the freedom to make his own choices. Kourtney, as a mother, might find this hard, but the fact that she allows Mason to spend time with Scott shows her love. Real love sometimes means letting go, even if it hurts. By letting Mason stay with Scott, Kourtney is showing that she respects his feelings and wants him to be happy. There is also the issue of the spotlight. Mason has grown tired of always being watched, and Kourtney's life with Travis has only increased that attention. The public is fascinated by their relationship, their fashion, their style, and even their baby boy Rocky. Mason may feel lost in all that noise. With Scott, he might get more privacy. He can hang out with his dad, enjoy his teenage life, and stay away from the cameras a little more. That freedom could be what Mason values most right now. Still, fans wonder if Mason will return to being closer with his mom in the future. Relationships between parents and teenagers go through ups and downs. Right now, Mason might feel more connected to Scott, but that could change later. As he grows older, he may find new appreciation for Kourtney's guidance and love. He may come back to her, realizing that her rules and care come from a place of deep love. What makes Mason's situation so unique is that it is happening in front of the world. Most children who go through these feelings experience them privately. But for Mason, every choice he makes becomes news, every absence is noticed, and every small action is analyzed. That pressure can be heavy. It is no wonder that Mason wants more privacy. At the end of the day, Mason is still just a boy finding his way. He has two parents who love him deeply, even if their love looks different. He is figuring out who he is, what he wants, and how he wants to live his life. Whether he is with Scott or Kourtney, the most important thing is that he feels safe, respected, and loved. Fans may speculate, but Mason's journey is his own. And maybe that is the real message here. Sometimes children of famous families do not want the same spotlight their parents do. Mason might simply want a normal teenage life, with friends, school, and privacy. If living with Scott gives him that, then it is the right choice for now. If he decides later that he wants to spend more time with Kourtney, that will also be right. What matters most is that Mason is given the freedom to choose and the space to grow into the person he wants to be. Teenagers are already sensitive about their parents, and Mason is no exception. At 14, he is at the stage where he values privacy, independence, and space. Seeing his mom and stepdad act like a couple in front of the world might feel overwhelming. It could make him pull away, because he does not want to be part of that spotlight anymore. Thanks for watching. Please do well to share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more Kardashian updates.